to date, outside of a freeway, that has this crack relief layer performed on it. I've talked to a number of communities in the last few days, and not one of them have utilized this. I've talked to consultants who represent oodles of communities. Not one of them have used it. The only entity that I am aware of that has used this process is MDOT. And
Mr.
MDOT...
Ryan, I got to pause you for a minute. Our meeting was set up for 9 o'clock, so it's fixing to hit 9 o'clock, and I believe there's a slight delay. Michelle, do you know? I apologize. She went back and changed it. So should it continue to keep going, or? Okay, so at 9 o'clock it'll start back up, and my phone is showing 9 o'clock, so we'll give it a minute.
Take a pause?
Yep, just take a pause, and that way I don't want to be in any violation. We didn't expect a 2.5. so.
Chairman, are you saying I'm talking too much?
No, I mean, we've had a lot of discussion tonight.
I have a minute or two to go and get back.
And everything, you know, so I'll just, it's 9 o'clock now, I'll give it to 9:01, and then we'll, I just hated to cut you off there, but I don't want to violate anything. Luckily, Michelle was on top of that, because I would have never even thought of that.
Provide an overwhelming amount of experience in paving methodologies, we could do that. Also, the paving roadways that, or the paving projects that this process has been used on, is, as far as I know, unless someone can point, because I've tried to find it and I cannot find one anywhere, and I've talked to consultants, I've talked to cities, I've talked to everybody. None of them have used it in this type of an application.
Is it because it's newer and maybe, you know, the old regime says, you know, we don't need that or whatever, but if MDOT and the science is there, you know, and we asked, you know, when we asked Hennessey to do this job, we said apparently, hey, we're looking to get 20 years out of these roads.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what they did. So they went out and got all that. And then it was changed, and that's what what I'm gathering is they're saying, hey, you guys asked us to do this, we did that, now you're changing it, it's not going to get that much time.
Sure.
You know, and this crack relief, from what I've read on it and stuff, it is a different mix than your standard asphalt, and it's a little more giving and stuff like that, and that's what it was created for. And like you said and everybody else said, it's a newer product, and it's only used on expressways or I-75, but yet, you know, maybe because a lot of people say, well, it's only used on highways, you know, and then it can be used on Pardee Road to help the cracking, you know, so I just, you know, I just, that's my, you know, from what I'm gathering, and you know,
Sure.
It almost sounds like this is the way we've always done it, and, you know, I'm not always a big fan of that.
Great comments, and I would like to talk a little bit about crack relief.
Mm-hmm.
Crack relief methodologies have been around a long time. Actually, one of the most successful crack relief methodologies is the placement of a fabric on top of the asphalt, or I'm sorry, on top of the concrete, below the asphalt, and then you pave your 2-inch leveling, 2-inch wearing, and call it a day. That is what has been traditionally utilized around town in local pavement settings, because you're restricted by the amount of material that you can put back on the roadway. So, Chairman, I understand your argument, but you're not getting 5.5 inches. You're going to get 5.5 inches in the middle of the roadway.
Right.
But you're not getting 5.5 inches.
But we may get 3 inches in one area and then 4 inches in another, depending on the road and the curb and the driveways. I mean,
so let's look at,
it's like cement.
Take that.
We're going to level it from one side to the other.
But look at that drive lane, the outside lane, which takes the majority of the beating. That's where your garbage trucks travel every day. That's where the heavy traffic, they're supposed to stay on those outside lanes and let other passenger vehicles pass on the inside lane. So that outside lane is what takes the beating. If you put down 2 inches of a non-structural asphalt material, it's not, a crack relief layer is not structural. As they talked about earlier, it's designed to be flexible, it's designed to take that crack, right? So now, when you put those 2 inches down, you're actually reducing your overall structural integrity of that road by 50%.
So you're saying we're better off putting 3 inches of asphalt as opposed to 2 inches of crack relief and 1 inch of regular asphalt?
What I'm saying is that, and by that drawing, we are better off to put 2 inches of a leveling course down and 2 inches of a wearing course down on average, and perform our routine maintenance, because as I talked to the fella from Wayne County Engineering today, he's no longer there, he's retired, he has seen roads in this, as what we're talking about today, get 20 to 25 years life out of it with routine maintenance. Everything is based on your routine maintenance. If you don't take care of your asset, you don't wash your car, what happens? Live on a dirt road, you don't wash it, it's gonna rust out in about 5 years, 6 years. It's the same thing with our roadway. If you don't maintain your roadways, and there's an argument out there, well, look at Wayne County roads. I can tell you right now, Wayne County does not have a preventative maintenance program where they perform crack sealing on their roads on a routine basis. The city of Taylor, in my tenure when I was here before, we did. We hired a number of different vendors to perform crack sealing on our roads so that we can ensure that we're going to make sure that we get the best value for our residents, to get the longevity out of those roads at the best dollar. I'm not saying that this process isn't any good. And I'm not saying that I have all kinds of experience with this process, because I don't. But what I can tell you is, based on my 25 years of doing this, that the 4-inch cross-section, it works. Just like a lot of things will work if you maintain it. If you don't maintain it, nothing's gonna last.
Are we doing 4 or are we doing 3.5?
Well, as you can see in that picture, you're gonna have to put 4 inches down. So on average, it will vary, because the cross-section of those roads vary.
That's exactly what we were just talking about, and you kind of said, you argued with me, and it's like...
Chairman, you're not gonna get 5.5 inches.
I understand that.
And
not in every area, but, it was changed to 3.5 inches. We're not gonna get 3.5 inches in every area, because they might have to put 4.5 inches in a certain...
You won't have to put 4.5, I can guarantee that. You will have a minimal fluctuation of anywhere from 3.5 to 4 inches. The big thing here is that when you start compromising that overall cross-section, this cross-section that we're talking about tonight was designed based on a 5.5 inch cross-section. As you can see with those pictures, you don't have 5.5 inches to work with. You have 4.
So was it your decision
In this
for
picture.
Lyons to change from the original design?
It is my recommendation. It was my recommendation. And that,
Decision was made, so, yeah, it was your recommendation, but okay.
Who made the decision? If you made
that
a
decision was
recommendation,
made between myself, our city engineer, and the administration.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Missouri.
so why not come to us, May 4th when this decision was made and talk? And we had a good conversation at the June 1st meeting about, if you're saving money, why should we care, and do you have to come back if it's more or less? And I think Mr. Ramick made a good point that